People love playing with me, but hate it when I play back. What goes around comes around.
Listen, I don't have a minute to spare because it's so much. I just want to get right into it. Hi, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Okay. Oh my God. There is so much going on with this P. Diddy case. And I told you guys that I was going to venture out and stop talking about it, but I really can't. I had to take off again yesterday to get it all together. It's a mess. So we're going to talk about certain celebrities that are supposed to be subpoenaed. That would include Ashton Kutcher, Jamie Foxx, Gene Dill, and many more. Mary J. Blige, crazy. We're going to talk about Diago. You said I need to take that off the list because Diago's saying that they're offering 50 Cent the same contract to be the spokesperson for Ciroc and De Leon. And what did you find out?
Well, no, I mean, I didn't read the article, but I just seen TMZ came back out and said that everybody is thinking that, but it's not true. Now, this is TMZ, and it's not saying maybe it's not a deal made yet. It could be still possible.
Also, don't forget in the paperwork, it says that TMZ is working with P. Diddy. Okay, so they'll put out there what he wants out there.
Right.
Because I believe it. I believe that they are still worried about their brand being labeled racist. And so I believe that they're not just looking at 50, they're looking at another African American, preferably male. That's what I think.
Right. But I mean, really, if you look at that, Ciroc and stuff like that, and Diddy was the face of it, it's like a rapper, like, you know, in that rap industry. Who else would fit the bill better than 50 Cent? Especially being a rival of P. Diddy, it makes more sense. We got rid of him. Now we got his arch enemy. It's just better, you know.
I think, okay, so there's a rumor out there that Diago is responsible for all of this mess. They were upset with Diddy, and because he called them racist, they didn't want the same thing to happen to them that happened to Cristal. So I think they're messy enough to hire 50 Cent.
Me too. I'm saying, really, though, in that thing, who's bigger than 50 Cent and P. Diddy? And P. Diddy has been sliding down the sliding board, going down. 50 coming up.
Bad.
That's the person you probably would want. I mean, that's what I would think.
It's getting bad. Things are getting bad for Diddy in the world of gossip and stuff like that. But really, with all due respect, and we're going to talk about this today, they're winning in the courtroom against Little Rod. Would you say the same thing, Perry?
Yeah. I mean, Lil Rod, that stuff, it's the same stories anybody can tell. Like, he's just going down a list of things he heard over the years and just having his attorney writing them down.
So hopefully I can get all this in 40 minutes because we got a lot of stuff to do. A lot. Yeah. This case, and I'm going to be breaking these into clips because it's just too much for one person to sit down, and no one's going to watch these videos over and over. They want to get really specific, so I'm going to break them down. Let's bring up the Ashton Kutcher thing first. Okay, this is very, very strange. Okay, so it's being released to the public that Ashton Kutcher, Jamie Foxx. Now, are going to be subpoenaed. Let's talk about that first. And Mary J. Blige. So Mary J. Blige, according to the rumors, had an open relationship with her husband, Kendu. They broke up some time ago, but the rumor is they were frequent guests of the freak-offs. Okay, they're frequent guests of the freak-offs, and the whole thing is weird because. And so they might know a lot about the freak-offs, Mary would, and so would the ex-husband. But the weird part to me is the feds don't usually say we're going to subpoena so-and-so. How is this out? Anybody, even in a civil law case, you don't say what you're going to do. You just do it. So
Right.
I'm a little confused about that. And by the way, we heard about Mary J. Blige a long time ago and her husband. So I don't see how she can, well, she might have some specifics on that. I feel like after reading the lawsuit and going through all of this stuff in court yesterday, that they're trying to attach big names to this. So this case, the Little Rod case, can get attention. Now, I didn't get that from me. I got that from Perry. Perry, why did you say that?
Well, I mean, like the feds is probably doing what they're doing. But if you got civil suits, if you're looking at a person that got allegations against them, and you see civil suits against these people, you're going to read these civil suits, right? See what information they saying, because sometimes they just take that little bit to verify. If you looking for a person that's S trafficking, and then the civil suit is claiming this person is doing it, it give it more leverage, right? As far as your way of thinking. But of course they're gonna look at the civil suits, and then if they gonna subpoena people from these civil suits and stuff, that they might decide is, hey, you know what? The Fed's gonna subpoena these people for their testimony, or just to interview them, basically, to find out what they could possibly know.
You feel like they're attaching these big names to this case so it could get more attention,
right?
Because saying that they're going to do it doesn't really make any sense to me. And we'll talk about Christian in a minute.
Oh yeah, yeah. As far as the Lil Rod stuff, he gonna add everybody in, because it makes it a bigger story. If he was just going after Diddy and Diddy's son, it'd just be Lil Rod versus Diddy and Justin. But he want these other people involved, so it makes a bigger story. And if you got Motown and you got all these people with money who ain't got time for their reputation to be ruined just over some lawsuit, they might put pressure on Diddy to say, hey man, I don't know what you got going on, but these people got my name in your lawsuit. These, friends might say, hey,
right, because we're going to get to the lawsuit. It didn't make any sense why they're listing Motown down. It has to be exactly what you're saying, Perry. They're just attaching all these big names. Now let's talk about the Ashton Kutcher specifically. Now, Ashton has been good friends with Diddy. They said over a decade. And he was one of the people, let me play this tape really quick, that kind of mentioned Diddy's parties in the public during an interview. Take a listen.
Stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote. If you
really? Have one, yeah. Wow. Okay, I've got a lot. I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I'm like actually cycling through that.
So he made these comments about the Diddy parties, and according to Daily Mail, they're getting ready to subpoena Ashton Kutcher, and Ashton Kutcher wants nothing to do with it for a lot of reasons. Number one is he already helped out his friend Danny Masterson that got convicted of R-ing women and lacing the drinks, and Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, they wrote character letters in support of Danny Masterson. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing.
No. I'm just saying it's not a good look.
It's not a good look at all. And so, according to the rumors, he wants nothing to do with this case, and he's distancing himself at this time from P. Diddy because it's a bad look, especially when this will be your second time around supporting a person full of horrible accusations towards women. Okay. And so here is the letter that he wrote for Danny Masterson. And this is just bad. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he said that he's been in Hollywood a long time and he ran into a lot of shady characters, but Danny Masterson isn't one. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. Yeah. Danny Masterson isn't one. He's an upstanding guy. He works with them. They all worked on that 70s show. And he vouched for him and his wife, Mila Kunis. And so he took a hit for that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't want anything to do with him because you come out publicly supporting a man that honoring women. And what kind of witness is he going to be for Diddy, who's basically accused of the same things? No one's going to listen to what Ashton Kutcher has to say now, I don't think.
Right. His track record at this point ain't looking too good off somebody else's character. It's just not, Sharrell. And, a lot of these people don't want their time wasted being subpoenaed. It's not their business. It's one thing if you got sued yourself for something you did. Mm-hmm. You got people calling your name out, wanting you to sit down with the feds over somebody else's business. And who want to come in there, busy day, let me take time out to go and sit in front of the feds just for them to ask you these couple questions.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Swallowed up. Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything
I can't with Perry.
Man, Liz, like for real, who want to hear this? Mm-hmm. Like, if they got evidence, they'll do whatever. But that's why I think Lil Rod and his attorney is really putting all these names and stuff in this. Mm-hmm. I mean, because the names change every week.
They do.
You notice. Let me scratch you off. Okay, they ain't giving me no faster settlement. Let me put this person in. But I don't get it. Go ahead.
I don't want to badmouth Little Rod, but I can't help but to notice you're not doing so good in court. A lot of things that you are saying aren't being upheld. And also it doesn't look good when you can't get anybody to testify on your behalf. So it doesn't mean he's lying. It just means that it's not looking good so far in court, but every day is a new day. Every day is a new day.
Right.
So
I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying it's just not it's not coming across as credible to me. Isn't that a nice way to say I'm not calling him you liar? I'm not saying that. I'm just simply saying this, Sharrell, that I think that, everybody's seen Cassie close a deal for $30 million and within 24 hours.
Yeah.
You would just say 30. You'd be happy if he gave you $3 million. I'm just saying, like, for a man that got all this evidence, apparently have seen enough, been around enough to see it. But when you start going from, he got cameras, 24-hour surveillance, he's watching me, and he's just fingering me every day.
My mind's telling me no. My mind.
Sharrell, I'm just saying, like, sometimes look at the story. And if it's true, there's something, and you saying that, you don't want to call him this and that. I'm not, but something is definitely, say he's not doing well on the case. He's not doing well in his personal life if you show up to a job. Just in my opinion, people, you can agree to disagree. Show up to a job, then you walking through, come here for a second. Let me stick you with something. And then you go from that on to that. And then you come back in and clock back in the next day for the same treatment. And then if that wasn't good enough, now you go on a yacht with him. And now Cuba Gooding Jr. gonna do the same thing. So like he going from P. Diddy, mess with him. Now is Cuba doing it to him. I mean, what? I mean, are you like everybody's bitch?
Perry. Okay.
Sharrell, I'm just saying.
Let me reword this, because unless you're following the paperwork in the courtroom, it'll sound really weird when I say, well, it seems like Little Rod isn't doing too good, but it happens all the time. Things can appear a certain way in court than it does on the outside. I'll put it that way. But anyway, so they're supposed to be serving people with subpoenas, Ashton Kutcher and Jamie Foxx. Now, I told you that Jamie Foxx also spoke publicly about Diddy's parties. This is when he was talking about the men playing naked basketball. It's a mess.
Wow.
And so, but the thing that I'm a little concerned about is, why would they announce that they're going to serve these people with subpoenas? It doesn't make much sense to me. Also, let's talk about some of the rumors that are going around. So there's a rumor going around that, have you heard this yet? That Claudia Jordan, who is from TGIF on Fox Soul, used to date Diddy. Did you guys hear these rumors?
Well, that's her.
That's her.
I mean,
I just seen this, huh?
They're a little too close just for a friendship, because look at what his hands at.
Somebody sent me this and said, "Did you know that Claudia used to date Diddy?" And I said, "No, no, I don't believe that rumor." And they sent me this picture. I don't know where this picture came from. It could be anything, but wow. I know. Has anybody in the chat seen this picture before? No, no one's saying no.
In the words of 50 Cent, were they dating or was she a worker?
Oh, I can't. Perry, stop. Perry, stop.
No,
I just thought that was weird that they would say that. But a lot of people are saying, no, they didn't hear that. And that, well, I know about, okay. And then she also has ties to Jay-Z. Supposedly she was friends with Kathy White. And, but she came out publicly and said, just because you're in a picture doesn't mean you're friends with someone. That could be true too. But the Diddy picture doesn't look like you're just in a picture. That looks different than taking a picture. But it could be.
A lot of people get closer than that. That's not friends. So
you are messy. You are messy, messy, messy. Anyway, so the rumor is that Diddy and them are putting together their own witness list. They're going after certain bloggers. Now, Gene Deal came out, I believe it was yesterday, and said that he would testify. I'm thinking he must have got word about this. So they've got a couple bloggers that are going around telling their Diddy stories and their Jay-Z stories. And they better be careful. Just be careful, because now, you know, they're putting a emphasis on these people that keep talking because they want them to shut up. And so they're going to do something about it. And according to the rumors, they're going to subpoena these witnesses.
Well, next, they're going to damn subpoena somebody's YouTube video. You know, and that can happen, though, seriously. Like, if I come on here and act like this definitely happened, and you spilling the truth, and it's not the truth, they can subpoena and say, hey, this is evidence, and bring you in.
Now, we know there's a couple people that are going around telling Diddy stories. I tried to warn this person. I guess they don't care. But when they start thinking that you are a target, they're going to go into your past and bring up things that you might not want brought up to say, don't listen to this person because they got this in their past. You know, it gets dirty. Lawsuits get very dirty, and you just got to be very careful. And if you are a blogger, you got to make sure you put that word in there, allege, and in my opinion, because don't nobody need no more smoke from P. Diddy of all people. Okay,
just do it. Perry do. I just tell him anything I say probably wrong. I don't know. I'm just talking.
Yeah. You got to say it. And so now we're on their radar, Diddy's radar, and they want to quiet the talk, what they call the lies. So we got to be very, very careful if you're a blogger. And now this is the second time I'm trying to warn you. If you know who I'm talking about, be careful. All right. So it's all kind of rumors going on. Let's talk about this J-Lo thing really quick. Now, people are going around saying that they're going to reopen the J-Lo case, him and Diddy and Shine. Remember that night in New York?
Yeah.
But Diddy and Shine got charges pressed on them. Shine ended up doing 10 years. Diddy was acquitted. According to Shine, he had people lying for him and paid people off. And now in Little Rod's lawsuit, he said that J-Lo was carrying the GUN. Okay, things get out of hand, So I found out, did I record that, Perry? I think I forgot to record it. Anyway, we found out that this case is not going to be reopened. That's considered double jeopardy. J-Lo wasn't charged with anything. The only way that this case can get reopened is if Shine, in a separate lawsuit, says that he was falsely convicted, and he wants it'll be a civil lawsuit where he will win money for being falsely accused. That's the only way. But everybody's saying that J-Lo's in trouble and she can get locked up this time. That case was already tried and done. And just because Diddy came out acquitted, as in not guilty, they can't go back and just keep suing a person for the same thing. So I just thought that that was a good, that's something you guys wanted to know. And I had the little clip. I guess I didn't. Yeah, here it is. Because I don't know how all these things are getting started, all these rumors. And I think that the Puffy camp, who said that they worked with TMZ, is kind of behind a lot of this stuff getting leaked, because the more I can confuse you, the more I can use you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let me play this really quick.
Wait, yeah. Before you got used, you was confused. So yeah, I get.
Because it's a lot of rumors just running around. Everybody's giving their Diddy stories, and y'all just better be careful. And I just think that his camp is behind some of them too. But anyway, this is a law and crime explaining how she can't get retried.
She carried Diddy's illegal weapon that was used in a nightclub shooting.
Apparently there's some sort of dispute broke out and a shooting occurred. Now, Little Rod is alleging that J-Lo brought the firearm in her purse to the club and then handed it off to, either Diddy or Shine, or whoever the person was that actually committed the actual threatening or shooting. And so, basically the allegations from Little Rod were that Diddy, or Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, confessed to him that he was the one that did the shooting. Now, in a court of law, it played out a lot differently, because back in 1999, all of them were arrested, including J-Lo, Diddy, and Shine. J-Lo's charges were dropped immediately, but both Diddy and Shine ended up proceeding to trial. And so Diddy was acquitted at trial. Shine was not. He ended up being convicted on weapons charges and reckless endangerment, and ended up going to prison as a result. So I could see Shine being a little upset right now, especially in light of the fact that there was evidence that may have possibly acquitted him. So I'm very curious to see what, legal avenues that Shine might be exploring, especially in the wake of this confession.
So the only person that can take it back to court will be Shine in a separate lawsuit. If they did anything, if they reopen the case, that would be called double jeopardy. So J-Lo is not in trouble, and her fans, please don't be worried. Oh, she's gonna do time. She had the gun. Basically, this is just something that Little Rod mentioned in his lawsuit. I don't even understand the reason that he mentioned it without any proof. That's why.
If you look at most of the allegations, look, for real, who's sitting here in the chat in my office believing that Diddy is confiding in Lil Rod so much that he's not only just massaging him, but he's telling him things that can land him in deep trouble, right? I mean, some people believe it. Look, Lil Rod get all the photos of all these different people in the lawsuit. He's coming across saying he was fondled not on Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. When you go back and look at the paperwork, for Cuba Gooding Jr., he made it seem like, how pedophiles might groom a child. But don't forget, he's in his late 20s, early 30s. So if he was touching you inappropriately.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
understand. You know, I don't know. It's weird. The
I
whole
don't
thing is
call that
weird.
for real. Like, I mean, you know, we can agree to disagree, people. I don't call that grooming. I call that volunteering. Just saying, if it happened,
Oh my God, Perry.
if it happened, you know, and some people will fall for it. No, Perry, you're wrong. And you know, this guy has went through a lot. Sometimes people hold it in when they volunteer their services, but people, I refuse to be
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
I refuse. And enough is enough every damn day. Now, first I
Period.
was like, okay, maybe he got something,
Period.
but him and his lawyer, maybe you ain't got that part of the story yet, and I'll wait with the new allegations or whatever they're gonna do. It's just too much for me, Sharrell. Just too much.
I can't with Perry. No one is highlighting the fact that J-Lo lied to the grand jury. That's perjury. You're talking about if she did have the gun, she lied. Would I understand what you're saying, Joy? But once a case is tried and closed and everybody got their sentencing, we can't help it that they found Diddy wasn't acquitted. But you can't, that's called double jeopardy. But if Shine, who now lives in Belize, and he's a congressman in Belize, who has made up with Diddy, so they had a final conversation. They talked about this on Drink Champs. Shine can reopen the separate case, not a reopen, can do a separate filing, civil filing about being falsely imprisoned. But one, he has a full life now. He's a full-on congressman in Belize. He moved forward. He also came to terms and an agreement with Diddy years ago when he got out. He wasn't mad. He's one of these type of guys. I did the crime. I got to do the time. Even though secretly he was pissed at Diddy, he came to the United States a couple years ago as a congressman, and I believe he was talking to Ebro. And he said that him and Diddy are on good terms. So I don't even see Shine bringing this case back to court. I just don't. Go ahead, Perry.
I mean, because if Shine was saying, hey, you know, I'm going to take this back to court for justice, he would just let P. Diddy know and just get the payoff. The same thing I feel like Lil Rod is trying to do.
Well,
you know,
you're messy. They could subpoena J-Lo if he reopened the case and say, this is what was said. Did you have the gun? And it's basically a yes or no question, unless somebody else seen her with it besides Little Rod. It'll be a complex case
if
to go back.
Yeah, look, for real. Say they go back. The evidence they had wasn't enough to say she had one. And now because you got Lil Rod saying somebody confessed to him that she did, right? It's Lil Rod ain't coming across too credible. And ain't nobody really look.
Let me say this, Perry, so people don't get the wrong idea like you're supporting Diddy.
No, I'm not supporting Diddy. Oh, go ahead.
We feel that if Diddy did something wrong, then he needs to be held accountable. But as far as what's going on with the case and the paperwork and stuff, and the way that the judge is kind of talking to Little Rod, I'll get into it in a minute. It just looks like he's losing right now. But things can turn around, because
I believe things happened to Cassie. A payment sort of verified it. Lil Rod ain't got paid yet. I think he was trying to get paid. That's just my thing. And look, I'm just saying, look, Diddy could be wrong for a lot of things, but is everything thrown at him true? Probably not.
Well, we don't know. Let's slow down. We don't know.
I said, no, we don't know. I said, okay, a liar don't lie every day.
Right.
It might be 1 day or 2 days out of the week.
You're messy.
I'm just simply saying that nobody's backing Diddy. Prove what he's doing, like whatever. And we have said that there's a lot of bad stuff don't happen, and it's awful funny that you was around or stand to lose something when a person went bye-bye. I get all that. But for a grown man to come in here and just say, Cassie got paid $30 million, he asked for the same amount. And saying how he was mistreated while working with P. Diddy. I get it. People quit jobs, leave jobs, and that would have been when I would have left if you trying to, finger bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just me. Some people say, oh no, Perry, you don't understand. When you need the money, you got to put yourself out there. Well, that's what he did. He gonna need to prove it to get paid from Diddy.
I can't. Perry, we're just taking things slow, one day at a time. Also, there's a rumor going around that Cassie is helping the FBI behind the scenes with the Kim Porter case. Now, I think they have enough evidence with the Kim Porter case to take this to court. I really, really do. Unfortunately, I believe that Diddy unalived Kim. I believe the first coroner that lost his life, Ed Winters was his name. And I feel that when they did this raid, we don't know what they were looking for. We don't know if they were coming in for sex trafficking, dope transportation. Remember the liquid cocaine,
right?
Underage women. They could have been in there also for Kim Porter. So they still have not turned in their final report, or no one has made it public, and it's not in the paperwork. Right. I check the paperwork every day. I wanted to see the final report on the warrant. I want to know what they were looking for when they went in there. But you said something, they might not make that public, you said.
Right. I mean, I don't see why it would be helpful for the feds to just make it public. Mm-hmm. But there's laws in this country, and I'm sure P. Diddy's attorney got what the warrant said. They haven't mentioned it because if it's some bad stuff, they don't really want to repeat it. Have people run with it. And like, in order for them to do the raid, they had to get something, right? Have some kind of strong allegations, but that could be from victims coming up saying this happened to me. And sometimes people use these warrants like that just to get into the crib looking for other things, but they had to have a reason to get it cleared by a judge. Let's say they go in there looking for videotapes. They're saying videotapes. They could be checking his computers for his financial records, wire fraud. It could be all kind of stuff. And then, hey, let's just go and raid this house. We got permission because we going under this certain warrant. But if we find other things, that person gonna be charged too. So you know what I mean?
It's a lot. This is too much to get in one setting. It really is. Also, they're saying that they will be looking into the Kim Porter case. They have reason to look into it now because of Al B. Shore. According to the rumors, Al B. Shore gave them new evidence. Now, I know Al B. Shore came out, I believe it was this weekend, and said that he was doing a documentary and he was going to tell you why he was in a coma. And he made it seem like, it had to do with Diddy. He's in a really funny situation right now because, and I talked to Perry about this, Al B. Shore, I believe him, sincerely believes in his heart that Diddy had something to do with Kim Porter's death. But don't forget, at the same time, he has a child that was raised by Diddy. I'm talking about Quincy, who doesn't want him to look into this. He wants him to stop talking about this. And that's why that relationship is no longer, is because Quincy stands by his dad. He calls Puffy his dad. He calls Al B. Shore Pops. This is very complicated. Perry, right. What would you do in Al B. Shore's situation? You love your son?
Okay. Well, okay, look, let me be transparent. I don't know the whole story. I just know the stuff you just explained. You love your son now? Okay. Loving my child is loving him today, also loving him while I raised him also. So, okay, I'm saying this, Sharrell, like, we can assume he loves his kid now because he's reaching out. But why did he give his son up for adoption? Or
Okay,
whether
so there's a weird. He didn't give him up for adoption. I don't think Diddy adopted Quincy, but don't hold me to that. I can't
I'm
remember.
just saying, however it went down.
There's a rumor going around is that Diddy didn't want Quincy around his father. So they're saying that he didn't raise Quincy not because he was a bad guy that didn't want to take on the responsibility. Diddy had warned him to stay away from Quincy. And Quincy didn't really start having a relationship with Albie Shore until he was in his 20s.
Okay.
Mid 20s.
I still see a problem. I'm not understanding. Okay. And if I'm a child, if you wasn't there for me and this other parent, whether how seedy he could come across today.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. Quincy's gonna love Diddy no matter what.
Look at him as the father. It's based off of a relationship. He raised the kid. And then you got the person you looking at across the street saying, well, I wouldn't trust that guy you with because I think he did this to his mother with no proof. And all of it could be definitely true, but it's no proof. And I mean, you might look at it and just thinking Daddy's just mad because this guy's being a better father than he is. I don't know.
I agree. Quincy's gonna love Diddy no matter what, even if he's found guilty, just because he has that bond with him. And Albie Shore is well aware of that, and I feel like he's gonna do what he needs to do, and hopefully at the end they will come together. But right now there is no love lost between Quincy and Albie Shore, and that's really sad. Also, I want to talk about, so they're saying that P. Diddy has been contacting people for to be a witness, stuff like that. So both sides are looking for witnesses. And then there's this video that just surfaced today of him patting down what was his name? Justin Bieber. Somebody, I don't know who put that out there, but they're saying that before this case with Little Rod even opened up, Diddy was paranoid of the feds coming after him, and he didn't trust anyone. And they're showing this clip of Justin Bieber where he's really patting him down, looking for like a mic, a hidden mic. It's crazy. So did you guys see that yet? It's everywhere. This is going viral. I do believe he knew that. I do believe he lived his life in fear because he kind of knew that what kind of life he was living, and I do believe he doesn't trust anybody. Someone is messy. Wait, hold on, Julia. Did you hear the video of Meek and Puff engaging? I heard that. First of all, I can't play it. Perry, didn't I let you hear it?
Yeah,
when they were supposed to be making out.
Yeah,
child. I don't know. You can't say no faces involved. We just heard the slapping, child. The bam, bam, bam. Okay, let's talk about Diddy's case. Diddy's son Christian having a lawsuit brought up against him. Now, listen, the problem that I have with this case is the same problem that I have with the prosecution and I'm still going to go over what was said in court today. The problem I have is that don't tell me you're going to do it. Just do it. I feel like this is some kind of scare tactic, like it was when they put Justin and Christian in handcuffs during the raid. I feel like they want the boys to talk or say something. I just don't understand why you're saying we're going to sue Christian, and we got pictures and we got all of this. Wouldn't you just do it? I'm confused. Perry, what are your thoughts on this? Like, why are they announcing this?
It's exactly right, Sharrell. Look, see, whether they want the boys to talk or not, no, they don't want the boys to really say nothing. They just want to inform P. Diddy, hey, you know what? We got this client that said your son did X, Y, and Z. And we got pictures. I'm just, because I know we friends and had a long time friendship. I'm just giving you heads up that we will be filing.
Mm-hmm.
You will be, and you got pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's like, hey, we ain't gonna stop. I know we've been trying for the last month or two to get you to settle, and it's not working. But would this change your mind? Let me know
It's
so I don't have
weird.
to waste the ink on trying to file another case. Look, that sounds like a bullshitter to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, if you rob me again, I'm gonna do this. Come on now. I mean, at what point you an attorney already in a case, filed one,
Mm-hmm.
and you got a client? Why are you telling him any damn thing? Just file,
Yeah. Yeah.
save your pictures for evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shakedown, Sharrell.
Yeah, I feel that way.
I just have
But
to see it that way.
when I say this doesn't mean that I'm Team Diddy. I'm never going to be Team Diddy. I do believe he did some heinous things. But
Right.
I'm saying, like, the prosecution's moves, I'm not understanding. I'll put it that way. Anyway, but they two can play that game because now Misa came out and said that she's going to sue for the raid and how it was done. It was overkill, all of this stuff. And a lot of people feel that it was overkill. But the only reason I hesitate to say it wasn't that, I'm not going to say it was, I'm not going to say it wasn't, because we don't know what they were in there looking for.
Right.
It could be that looked like a drug raid to me. That's something, a drug raid, but we don't know why it was raided. I keep waiting on the paperwork to come in, and they're not going to talk about it because the raid, the final warrant report usually takes a day, maybe two at the very max. This has been what, last weekend? It's too long. So
Right.
maybe they're not going to release it like Perry said. But Misa did say it was overkill. She played the her surveillance. Let me see if I have that. I agree with her. No, I don't.
Well,
I'm not going to say it is. It's not, because we don't know why they were there. Go ahead, Perry.
I would say this, right? And I get it as a parent. You would feel like if it happened to your child, that was way too much. They ain't had to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just coming because you look at your kid as a saint.
Oh,
No, I'm just keeping it real because
okay.
I would feel the same way about my kid.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you know your kid, but shit, I know my kids a lot. But they can do wrong
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And that whole situation with them doing that, in my opinion, because people like, oh yeah, but that's a child. I get it. I have 2 kids, grandbabies.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't want it to happen to them. But at the same token, look, I'm sure we seen them. They wasn't harmed, wasn't arrested, just questioned, and maybe handcuffed. But if you went to a freak, a freak off, I'm sure they had cuffs there too. And
I can't.
I'm sure, probably, like, I'm just guessing from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, it was crazy, but it sounded like some crazy stuff happened with this group of people anyway at clubs. Look at the stuff talking about possible, cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
With weapons involved. He probably was safer. He could have been safer in the raid than he was going out partying with Diddy. I'm just saying.
Let's talk about what happened in court today. Something's wrong with my husband, y'all. Something is wrong with her. Okay, so like I said, in the court of public opinion for court, it's not looking too good. So we know that they included Motown executives in the raid. I mean, in the lawsuit. They dropped, oh my God, what is her name? Oh, Ethiopia. Now, Ethiopia came out today because everyone was saying, oh, she's going to turn against Diddy. She's going to testify against Diddy. She said out her own mouth, she will not be testifying against Diddy. So they dropped her. They left the CEO, Lucian, and Lucian's team came out swinging. They had a very, accusatory letter. They said that black Blackburn didn't know what he was doing, the prosecutor, and that they were going to file on his license. They were going to go to the bar and said that he was inadequate to be an attorney. And this was like unbelievably harsh. It was like they just went for the jugular. And then in return, Blackburn did another salacious letter to them. So I've been reading letters for the last 2 days, and he said that, no, we're not dropping you. He's telling the judge, please don't drop Lucian from the lawsuit, because we have evidence to support that he was a partner with P. Diddy, and this wasn't a license deal. But this is the evidence that they submitted as proof that Motown was in a partnership with P. Diddy. And not only were they in a partnership, Motown supplied money, P. Diddy with money, and he used that money to do illegal activities. Now, look, they claim that they got this from their website, and it says P. Diddy and Motown partner up. And they're saying because they use the word partner, that's evidence to show that they were in partnership with P. Diddy. But they have a contract that says it was a licensing deal. And I can't believe that this prosecutor with this great track record submitted this as evidence. What?
Yeah, it's so childish.
Like, you got this off of a website, huh? It just doesn't make any sense. You need better evidence than that. And I'm not disrespecting Rodney or his attorney, but I'm saying you are a seasoned prosecutor, and you should know that this is not going to be good enough. Now, unless he has something else and he's hiding that for, the big day or something, or that's not
no.
good
The
enough.
Photoshop thing there was the smoking GUN. Look, it's childish, Sharrell. Now, what did this actually have to do
It
with
just
Lucius, Motown? At the end of the day, what did this truly have to do with, I was about to call him Lil John, Lil Rod?
that's
Look,
their evidence. But it gets worse than that. So then the Motown side submitted this letter, and this letter comes from a woman, Kathy. Let me see if I see her name again. She's saying in this letter, she's also a Motown employee, and she's saying that Lucian was not responsible for giving Diddy any kind of money to do illegal acts, especially when he didn't work there at the time that you're claiming. She said, I was in charge. Right here it says, I'm advised that the plaintiff in this action has claimed that Motown Records is the parent company of Love Records, Inc. This is extremely inaccurate. During the relevant time frame, I was the executive responsible for handling all the business and legal affairs for Motown. She's straight out saying Lucian is not involved in this. If anybody needs to be involved, it's me.
Well, there we have it.
It's not looking good in court for Team Rodney. Now, maybe they have some more evidence. I don't know. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. And I feel that eventually they're going to have to drop Motown from this lawsuit. What were your thoughts, Perry? Because
look, I'm just saying that some people can look at the civil lawsuit with Lil Rodney, Lil Rod and P. Diddy, and say, oh yeah, this guy got all this evidence. P. Diddy got to be wrong. Then on the other side, I'm looking at it, saying, yeah, I ain't saying P. Diddy ain't guilty of a lot of things. It just seemed like somebody's, in my opinion, trying to use allegations and things like that just to get a payoff. And, the lawyer name is Blackburn or Blackmail?
Blackburn. Blackmail.
That's what it's starting to come across as.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really don't know. It's just crazy.
But it doesn't mean that Diddy's innocent. Diddy has enough money to have good attorneys, and they're going to do stuff like this. They're going to fight page by page is what it's boiling down to. But it's right now, it's just not looking good for Little Rod. It also doesn't look good that you can't bring any witnesses in. So witnesses have been dropping left and right. People don't want to testify. So is Diddy blackmailing them and patting them down like they did Justin Bieber? We don't know. All we know is people don't want to testify on behalf of Rodney Jones. It's a lot, people. It is a lot. Someone said, can blackmail win a case? Listen, this is not the first time that Diddy's been accused of blackmailing people or even paying them off. And so it worked before.
Yeah.
And that's his go-to every time he gets charged with a felony and stuff like that. All of a sudden people start changing their mind. It could very well be that he's paying people off. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying it doesn't look good if you can't get anybody to testify. They're dropping like flies. They all want to be anonymous, all of this. And so I see why they haven't charged Diddy so far. They don't have enough evidence. Now, do I want Diddy to be accountable for the things that he did? Absolutely. He needs to be held accountable.
Right.
I will be pissed off if his blackmail and his threats work again. But this weekend he was in Miami. Let me show you guys, acting like he didn't have a care in the world. Will he get off? I don't know. But is he paying people off? I don't know. But all I know is no one wants to testify in behalf of Rodney Jones. Perry, what are your thoughts? Let me put this picture up because this is ridiculous. Go ahead, Perry.
No, I just say this. Nobody's saying P. Diddy isn't guilty of things. But you can't just throw out allegations without proof. Now, P. Diddy's not going to go and turn himself in and say, I did it. You're going to have to prove he did it. That's the problem people having. And allegedly, it's hard to prove when the people that was involved, he pay them off to keep them quiet. Now, you're going to have to pay somebody to speak up, I guess. But nobody's going to probably speak up against Diddy. A lot of people ain't going to do it out of fear of their life.
Tango says, of course he has to save face, Sharrell. He has to appear unbothered, but he's scared. Exactly. Right. But in the appearance of seeing unbothered, it was ridiculous. It was over the top. He was dancing. Okay, no, I'm not joking. He was rocking around in a bathing suit. He went to some ice cream shop when he walked in, everybody started saying, oh, P. Diddy. Like, people get starstruck. Like, did you forget the allegations that are brought up against this man? People were asking for his autograph. I'm like, who in their right mind wants an autograph of P. Diddy during this time? But yeah, he's scared, but he's putting on a good face.
Yeah. And
it
that's
is
what he has to do. He has to do that, though, because if you walk around scared, if you think the people coming after you, if you go and look unbothered, and every time they put a little charge on you, you beat it, they lose confidence in getting you. If you walk around being scared, he's going to be done. I mean, can you imagine you can't even go to a motel room without sending a team in to check for wires, everything.
He's scared. It's all for show. But Julia cracks me up. She said he paid those people in the ice cream shop. Did you see it? Those people got starstruck. Like, what is wrong? Somebody in my comment section said, this is old, Sharrell. No, it's not old. He really was with Stevie J this weekend, and they went to the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
And people were acting like there was no lawsuit and no accusations and no freak-offs. It's crazy. It's just weird. So what I'm trying to say here, and I want to be very clear, is I believe Diddy's guilty. I believe he needs to be held accountable. I think his Little Rodney's attorney needs to do a better job. And every day in court is a new day. It might look like you're losing one day. I've followed enough court cases to know every day is a new day. But so far, it's not looking good for Little Rodney. And could he had a good case and did he start paying people off? That's Diddy's MO. That's what he does. So you can't beat him at his old tricks. That's what he does. Go ahead.
But I say this, though. If his footage and the stuff he's alleging is legit, he still can do it? Or is it, because I think he came out one time, this is P. Diddy and so, and then, no, it's somebody else. Now, get your facts right. I don't know. But if he got hard evidence, just go to court and just do that and just show it. But P. Diddy ain't going to turn himself in. You're going to have to prove it.
I agree with your talking about Perry, but you have to remember P. Diddy has a lot of money to pay people off. So there came a thing out that came out and said, oh, he mortgaged his house. He's broke. P. Diddy is not broke. I don't know who's dropped these stories. He's not broke. Chrissy says, PR must be telling them to show their face and smile. I believe it's a PR stunt. Yeah. This weekend was a PR stunt. Blackburn is throwing things at the wall to see what will stick. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And it's not looking good for him in court. It's just not. It's giving shakedown. It really is. But Joy, I agree with your statement. But what do you do if this man is paying off witnesses? What do you do? Perry, what would you do? I don't know.
Look, at the end of the day, if he's paying off witnesses, politicians, judges, people, right? It ain't nothing you can do, because unless you had strong enough evidence, you can't come in with no weak ass evidence saying, well, yeah, one day he told me. Now it's your word against his. Was it on tape? It got to be some kind of proof. And even on tape, he'll say, that ain't my voice.
I would be pissed if Diddy wins this Little Rod case, because in my heart, I feel like Diddy's guilty. I don't think Cassie was lying at all. There's more than a couple witnesses to vouch for the freak-offs. The freak-offs went down. I believe he was lacing people's drinks. I believe Diddy needs to be behind bars. But if people are going to take the money and run,
right,
what can Little Rod do? What can Cassie do? That's why I said it was smart of her to take that money and then work with them allegedly behind the scenes for the Kim Porter case. And I do think there needs to be a Kim Porter case. Okay, so I'm happy about the news that they're saying that Albie Shore has new evidence for the Kim Porter case. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Perry, you want to say anything before we wrap this up?
Sharrell, at the end of the day, Lil Rod can't go out there and save the world. The people who had the lace punch at Diddy's Freak Fest. What he should be doing is defending himself, giving proof on how he was touched unwillingly. Just stick to that point, because if you file a lawsuit, shouldn't nobody be able to pay you off? But if you ask other people at the party, hey, can you testify to this? No, they ain't gonna testify to it because they really just get paid off. He just throwing all this other stuff out there. Just stick to what you alleging happened to you. That's what I'm thinking.
It's getting all cloudy. So I wanted to
Go ahead.
I wanted to say this again, that according to 50 Cent, he has not been offered a proposal from Diageo, which is the alcohol company. But I believe that they are going to offer 50 Cent that role, because 50 Cent will be perfect. He's high profile like Diddy. He's got a lot of money like Diddy, got a lot of influence. They are going to be offering 50 Cent whatever he wants. But they also have to remember, like, y'all realize that Diddy was not the best person to work for. 50 Cent, they said he don't play. They said, like, he can get serious when he needs to get serious. Hi, Kim. She says, Sloan Bella said that someone close to Diddy has been collecting evidence for a while. That would be amazing. That would be amazing, because right now it is not looking good in court for little Rodney. And I think that Diddy's up to his old tricks. And I do think that if and when Diageo makes 50 Cent a proposal, he's going to take it. All right, Perry.
Well, I'm not, you summed it up. And I would just say this, people, look, just watch both sides. Nobody's saying that Diddy is innocent, but we can't say Lil Rod allegations are true neither unless it's proven. But let's just live with that. Keep your eyes open on all of it. And just follow the facts, what's actually true and what's not. And it's going to be going for a while. But please don't get
swallowed up. Have you ever been
We gotta go.
Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
Bye, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Something wrong with you, Perry. Something is wrong.